What is good? Welcome back to a new week. I've had to rebuild the funded account today. Fuck. Sucks, bro. $70, but it just is what it is. Last month I was playing way too passively, and because of it, it didn't pass the funded account. Focus this month is play it aggressive. I'm sick of sitting on funders for a month, and I'm making enough money through work now to just cycle them and actually start playing them aggressively with the idea of either passing it or failing it within the week or within 2 to 3 trades. So that's what we're doing right now. Coming into today, let's get into the analysis because I do think that we are going to get some good price action right now. Right now, the story of the day is pretty much we have been ripping all day, and I just was talking to the Discord a little bit, and they're saying it's hard when we're at all-time highs because you do, or for me personally, when we're at all-time highs, I find myself marrying a short bias so often just because of the fact that we don't have those draws on liquidity to the upside. And naturally, I'm looking at the markets as we're overextended and I'm going to want to see a retrace on the daily and the higher time frames. But that is what the market is telling me today, and that's not even a overall bias. That's not like something that I am looking for. That's just what I'm seeing in the charts right now. Draws on liquidity for me is super clear on both because they're pretty aligned. We have these equal highs here on ES. We have Asian highs. I will be looking for those to get taken out. We've created this SMT off of, I believe those were London lows, and we've swept them, and now we're getting legs up. I want to see this leg here on ES take either these equal highs and these Asian highs. That is what I'm looking for, and then I want to look for rotations off of it. Another reason why this SMT is important is because an SMT is also creating liquidity on the opposing index. So over here on NQ, obviously we didn't take this, but now what do we have? We have really good draws on liquidity to the downside with these two relative equal lows. We also have good draws on liquidity. We have 1, 2, and 3 relative equal highs. And overall, what I would love to see for today is I would love to see us come take these and also take these on ES. And then I want to see rotations down. Targets most likely would be taking it on NQ because of the fact that we have these relative equal lows that I can use for targets. Right now, it looks as though we are getting a retracement. Market is just about to open. What I'm sort of expecting right now is to see 15 minutes. It's a 3-minute. Pretty strong bearish movement, but ideally, I think. Potentially not. I mean, we've literally just disrespected the entire S&P. So that was my idea coming into the pre-market. Now market's opened, we've dumped, and I'm pretty much going to have to reassess by the looks of things. We've just taken out these lows here, and it's just too tough at the moment to judge. Market's just opened. I will check in a little bit, and hopefully this holds and we just rip up and take these because now we've actually got pretty much equal lows here. So let's just see what happens. ES failed to make that retracement, so we've created another bullish SMT here. Honestly, I would love to take a trade right here. This is obvious. Market opens, we've manipulated that low. I already have my draws on liquidity to the upside. This is prior to when I'm usually open to taking a trade. However, on Mondays, one thing that I see very, very, very often is that I see my trade, I'm correct in my bias, and then we just pump without giving me a chance to enter. So I am actually going to take a trade here. if I get the chance presented to me. Bit of a different one. I don't usually trade pre-market or pre-macro open, but I'll see what happens here just because of the fact that draws on liquidity to me are super obvious. Okay, never mind. That is all that I needed to see to invalidate that little trade idea. So like I said, I'll just see what comes out, and yeah, hopefully we don't just dump. Other reason that I want to be bearish today, and the reason I've got this marked out, underneath these lows here, we are seriously overextended. If you look at the market, we have just been moving. We have a big imbalance here that I would love to see get filled. Same thing over here on ES, we just overextended. Motion of the week is we're just overextended. I mean, need I say any more? You know, I would love to see us get some sort of retracement today. And that is why I have marked out this low, is because underneath this low is when all of these imbalances start coming into play. That's my pre-market analysis. Let's see what happens over the next 10 minutes. And yeah, appreciate all the positive feedback we've been getting on these videos. It's making me super motivated to come back in here and just keep making them. But I do feel like it's actually cool for me as well, because it actually feels like I'm putting out beneficial content for you guys. And that is sort of the idea behind these videos. I feel like this is probably the most beneficial content that I could put out there as an unprofitable trader, because sometimes I feel like watching someone lose a trade is 10 times more beneficial than watching someone make 20K, you know, because I think it's more relatable to all of us. And then you guys can also feed off what I'm doing wrong. I can feed off any feedback that you guys are giving me. And it's just super positive, man. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been fucking awesome feedback from you guys. Anyways, I will check in 10 minutes where macro opens. Love. All right, this is still nowhere near macro open, but one thing I'm looking at now is this run on liquidity that we have created. We've just completely dumped on both pairs, and yeah, honestly, I am bullish today because of the fact that how good are these draws on liquidity. You know, we have equal highs right here with Asian highs. These are also London highs, and they're equal highs, you know. Like, this is a seriously strong draw on liquidity for me. Over here as well, I mean, that's London highs there as well. We do have this bearish SMT between these, 415, and yeah, so these highs here. Whether this is displacement off of that, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I guess it sort of is, but right now we're pushing down into this 4-hour fair value gap. We've just made into it on ES, NQ. We're also just poking into it, so good potential in the charts, but it's just too early to say, man. I need to see some sort of 15-minute indication, because at the moment we're just not seeing a lot at all. Low analysis. Still got 5 minutes until this candlestick closes, but how good is that looking so far? You know, like if we can close somewhere up here, we've taken out this draw on liquidity down here on both ES and NQ, also created relative equal lows. So one thing that I could potentially expect today would be we create these lows, but we want to come and take out these easy draws on liquidity before rotating down and making that full retracement. That's sort of the idea that the sort of image I'm picturing in my head right now. But if we could get some sort of confirmation that this is just a manipulation leg, beautiful. Like, that would be such a good model for me. We have this, it just sucks that this is such a major fair value gap here, because it limits me. Like, the ideal model for me would be I see us completely invalidate this imbalance before taking a long, but obviously the risk to reward's just not going to be there for that. So I think I'll probably come down. Even the 3 minutes still showing the same thing, which is a bit rough. I'm just going to wait for macro open, to be honest, man. This could very well be something here that I'd look at if I had a bit more data on it. But like, I have the idea that this is going to be a manipulation leg. What do I need to see in order to confirm that? Like a little 3-minute retracement rejection. Or even if I just see a 3-minute change in the state, that would be some sort of confirmation to me that we are looking at a manipulation leg rather than an extension. So just gotta wait and see how the macro opens, because at the moment it's still too unclear. But so far, psychology's been good, man. I'm not trying to rush into anything, and I'm really just waiting. Like, I just really just want to, if I'm only taking 2 or 3 trades to pass the funded account, I just want to make sure that those are the trades where I'm like, bang, like, I know the draw on liquidity, I know where we're going, and then I see my model as an indication that that's happening, like, bang. And I know we say, like, shouldn't that be every trade, you know? And in a way it should be, but there are days when I come into the charts and I'm like, okay, today we have draws on liquidity to both sides, and then I might see my model in one direction and I just read it wrong and take it. And those are sort of the days that I'm planning to sort of de-risk. And then days like this where I have clear draws on liquidity, these are the days that I want to be sort of attacking rather than playing passively. Are they equal highs there as well? I think we have 3-minute equal highs up here. We do too. So we have 3-minute equal highs up here and equal. I'm very bullish today because of how strong the draws on liquidity are. Really, really happy that we've had this, and I hope that it's a manipulation league. Looking like it's going to hold right now. I am just going to quickly put that in the Discord and let them know, because that's pretty clear draw on liquidity, if I do say so myself. There's a lot just happened. We just rotated down and took out this final low on NQ that I said I wanted to see, and we've created this 3-minute bullish SMT. Yeah. Potential long entry for me here. I think only issue is very, very strong bearish candlestick closure. Do I want to trade against that? For me, it's a no. Right now, I don't want to trade against that. Yeah, personally, I just don't want to trade against that, even though the draw on liquidity is super, super clear, you know. I'm not willing to trade unless I can see something on a higher time frame, because this 3-minute SMT isn't enough for me to completely go against that candlestick closure. That to me is too strong bearish. And yeah, in terms of sells, like, I don't even want to take a bearish trade today. So I would probably rather not take a trade today than take a bearish trade, purely because I don't know how deep that retracement's going to go. The clear draw on liquidity's already been taken, as these lows here could potentially take it over here on a ES, seeing as we created relative equal lows. But yeah, in terms of seeing shorts today, I just don't know. But then also, I'm not willing to take a long off of here. Not for me, man. Not for me. All right. Macro is in play. It's literally just opened. What am I looking at is we've just taken this draw on liquidity over here on ES. So we've taken that on both pairs now. ES look at this. This looks like a really nice lower time frame manipulation. So I'm still not wanting to rush into it. This is my main thing today. I don't want to rush into anything because that 15-minute time frame has closed so strong. For me, it's not realistic for me to be able to take a trade off the highest time frame imbalance today because it's just not going to give us a good enough risk to reward. However, say we see a change in the state of this manipulation leg, that would be a clear sign to me that we're disrespecting bearish order flow. We have reason to go long. We've taken all this draw on liquidity. We have really nice draws on liquidity to the upside. And I'm kind of just trying to react to the market right now. This 1 minute time frame is obviously not looking too ideal. However, this does look like a nice liquidity sweep. So I am still open to potentially taking a long despite how badly this 15-minute candlestick's closed for us. Yeah, it's just tough. It's a tough one today. It's definitely not one of my higher probability days purely because of this candlestick closure here, but I will have to see what happens. I'm trying to play this funded account more aggressively, and when draws on liquidity are so good or presented to us so well as they are today, potentially even waiting to see a retracement model present itself would be higher confidence for me, because my retracement models are, I see a confirmation of the move that I'm wanting to see, and then I see a retracement and then another rejection, and that rejection is usually my entry, and that rejection is also another confirmation that the new trend is going to continue. So that's something I'm looking at right now. I'm just waving a pen around. That's sort of my thought process right now. Still really just sitting. I've got my hands in my ass right now, and I'm just waiting to see something clear present itself. But we're starting to get legs up now. So this little low time frame sweep here could very well play out for me. Yeah, just got to see what this next few minutes brings. Back to the basics right now, man. What is this candlestick? Doji candle. It's been a while since I've actually looked at a candlestick and thought, wow, like this candlestick here is indicating indecisiveness in the market. So that's super basic trading knowledge right there. So I'm still open to taking along purely because this candlestick is not indicating a lot. You know, it's not indicating a strong bearish, or it's not indicating a strong bullish. It's just indicating that we've taken out liquidity. Obviously there's buyers and sellers at the moment because there is two ways of looking at the market right now. And this doji candle is pretty much just indicating to me that there's two different options in the market at the moment. And I personally want to not get caught up in this 1 minute price action. You know, I could have looked at this before taking a trade off of the 1 minute change in the state, but I would have been chopped up. You know, like I want to see something clear. I want to wait for that 5 and the 3 minute to really make something obvious, because at the moment there's wicks everywhere. You know, it's not ideal. We don't have news and it's a Monday. So no news Mondays are always going to be slightly lower volume. And we've already taken out one of our draws on liquidity for the day, being that Asian low. So right now I'm being dead patient. Like, I think patience is key on a Monday, especially for me and the way that I trade. Also, I saw someone comment before. I'll do a short form video for you tomorrow, bro. He was asking about how you do these things here. I believe that's what you were asking, mate. How you do like these little notations here in the templates. You have to set them up like yourself. So I spent a few hours, man. Like, best way that I could say to do it is whenever you draw out your usual confluences, like I used to just do it and I would mark out, say I saw this high, I'd do it and I'd come in here and I'd type out draw on liquidity. And I'd do that every single time. And so I found out that you can come in here, if you left click on it, go to template, and if you go save as, you can, so say I wanted to save this one as draw on liquidity, I'll just do it as number 2 because I've already got one in there. If you go save as, then say I was to delete that and come back in here, do the same drawing, just left click template, and you'll see it here, draw on liquidity 2. So that is how I've done it, and best advice, man, it saves so much time. Like when you're marking out the charts every single night, it does save you a lot of time. But yeah, that is how you do it. I'll tag you, I'll send you a message in the YouTube from my last video. I'll send you the point at what I'm saying that at. I hope that helps you. If that's not what you were talking about, comment again and I can try understand a bit better, but I'm 90% sure that's what you're asking about. So anyways, that is how I have set all of that up. Right now, it's just slow. Typical Monday. We have 1 work, 2 work, 3 work. I've had like 15 minutes from now where we've just been chopping. So these are the days where you do need to be playing it slow, because otherwise you will just get chopped up and most likely used as extra liquidity before the movement actually happens. Another benefit of that 15-minute time frame and using that as your ideal time frame is you're not going to get chopped up, because those 15-minute moves, I mean, if you come to the 15, it's still not looking bad, like, but it's just as soon as you start dropping down, it's just looking like absolute Duke right now. Okay, starting to get some movement here. Just marking out this SMT 1157, and where are we here? 1157. So we have created a bullish SMT here. I'm starting to see some sort of displacement off of that. Can't lie, man. If I can see a change in the state, ideally I see a change in the state up here. I'm going to see how this 5-minute candlestick closes. If we can change the state on the 5-minute, that would be freaking pretty ideal. But I just want to see a bit more, because we're just obviously not looking super ideal. Like, this is a good little retracement, good little indication of where we're going, but those higher time frames still just aren't looking too hot. And this also isn't really an internal model, because of the fact that, like, say, I don't know, personally what I find is I don't like taking SMTs off of something like this. See how we've got this as our low here? When I see an SMT, I really want to see it as, like, obviously we've made this. I'd love to see the SMT off of this low that we've created, this internal low, or external low, rather than this one here, because it's just more significant. And it means more to me, and that's just what I've found is if we could see an SMT off of this, that would be freaking ideal. And I'm not actually willing to take a trade off of just this SMT here, because realistically it's just not as high confluence. We're still in crappy price action as well, so I would rather be patient. It's just me. I know some people do consider those an SMT. Personally, sometimes I do, but not on a 1-minute time frame like that. I think you could pretty much pull an SMT out of your ass at any point if you wanted to, if you were considering it like that. If I see an SMT, I want it to be significant and clear, and that's just not what I really consider those to be. So still just in this disgusting range right now. I'll see what sort of happens in the coming few minutes, but we are getting those legs up now. Come up into this imbalance here, So ideally for me to look for a trade right now, I want to see, we've had our leg up. Now I want to see retracement, potentially an S&T. Like that would be where that comes in super clear for me. And then take a long up to these draws on liquidity. That would be my A plus model for the day. And that's sort of where my head is at right now. All right. I think we're starting to get a little something. We just broke structure on the 3-minute time frame here. Big legs down right now, slightly scary. 15-minute time frame, I believe we still haven't closed. We came up, filled in this imbalance, and now tough thing. We came up, filled this imbalance. For me to take a trade, it's not realistic for us today to wait for the inversion and the invalidation of this price action. However, we can, like this is still looking decent for longs. We've bottom worked on the hourly time frame, and realistically, these higher time frames are actually looking better. This 15-minute, what do I need to see in order to take a trade? Is I need to see a retracement and a rejection, because that in itself is an indication that this uptrend is going to continue, which is then going to be that invalidation of the inverse that I'm looking for. So I'm looking for an indication of the invalidation rather than looking for the invalidation today, because the risk reward just is not going to be there for us. Yeah, that's the thought process so far. We've come down into this order block here. Order block, breaker block, more like. Starting to get legs up here. I'm just not a fan. Like, the model has presented itself. The model is off of this break of structure. Like, that is clear. But just with that 15-minute time frame, it's just not. It's not ideal for me. Starting to turn back up here. I don't know. I'd just love to see a bit more, but I just don't think that we're going to get any more out of the charts today. Like, this hasn't retraced. It's nicked equilibrium. But all in all, price action is just not looking hot. Not at all. Taking this high here. So this is the other thing. You could potentially be looking at this as a bearish S&T, you know? We failed to take this high, and we take this high. Now we're getting legs down. So this is also why it's been freaking awesome holding off on that trade there. Because, I don't know, at the end of the day, higher time frames hold that higher power over us in the charts. So we are starting to see a retracement here. Quite a significant one at that. I'd like to see that though. I'd like to see a solid retracement come in. Because if we can see something like a solid retrace come through and then respect it, man, like that is going to be really high confidence for me. I'm going to mark out this low here as well, because ideal entry for me is going to be an SMT forming off of this low and then longs. Like that is A++ for me. Just got to see. Big waiting game so far today. Like, we've just been sitting here super patient. It's already 12:15, so late into the day. But yeah, no, happy with how I've done so far. Like, super thankful for what the charts have been presenting. Edging down here. This just isn't ideal. That's the other thing I need to keep into account. This is not ideal price action. Bang. Surely this holds. Ooh, we created equal lows. Damn it, bro. I don't really want to trade when I know there's equal lows below us. You're kidding. Ah, that's such an ass. Damn. I was calling the ASMT too. If we'd seen my model present itself off there, that would have been pretty sick. Okay. Let's see what the market is telling us. I mean, hey, this is an internal model now. Like, this is, say we sweep this is an internal liquidity sweep within our overall model. We're sitting inside of equilibrium. Now, if we can I want to take this one on ES. Make sure this 15-minute looks all good. Yeah. See, so if we bottom wick here, if we get some sort of indication that we're going to go higher, then this 15-minute time frame is going to be looking super juice, because we'll be closing all the way up somewhere here. Realistically, what do we expect? We're going to expect to see these highs taken. I'm liking this so far. Just time to pull the trigger. Like, this is the sort of thing we're dealing with right now. I'm just going to pull up Top Step X over here. If we rotate, if we rotate off of this and take this low, it's going to be a no trade day for me. Nice candlestick closure there. I am a fan of that. NQ. Damn, I'd love to see us have some sort of higher time frame confirmation, but we're just not going to get any because of the fact that there's no sort of imbalance in here to play off of. So it's leaving us with this 1 minute imbalance. This is going to be the entry for the day. Once we see an inversion of this fair value gap, if we see that. I think I'm going to place 10 contracts. 10 contract position on ES. Oh, don't want to go NQ, ES. Yeah, I'd rather go ES today. Just because we have those equal highs, like that's so strong conviction for me. Still holding my bias here, guys. Like, I think this is ideal, to be honest. Equilibrium's been hit on ES. No, I want to enter with about 500 risk here. Okay, we've rejected equilibrium, potential entry on this next candlestick.
Order filled.
Bang, I'm in.
Order filled.
There you go. 15 ES contracts. So my trade is looking like that. good risk reward as well. So super happy with that. Alright, now the fucking psychology kicks in. I'm just gonna pause this real quick so I can send this to the Discord. I'm happy, man. Happy with that candlestick closure over here on NQ. That looks really good because we already formulated that uptrend on the lower time frame. We've had our retracement, had our internal model form, and then we've had a big extension out of it. So that's looking really nice there. Over here on ES, the model's also looking really good. Yeah, in terms of draws on liquidity, happy with it. And nothing more that I can do, man. This is my model, and this is, I don't know, you guys will probably be able to see it a bit better than me. Just because, like, obviously I'll be able to see it a bit better when I'm watching it back, like, as an analysis. But, like, so far today, I think this has been a really, really good trade. We've taken it slow, and we're still basing everything off of that 15-minute time frame. To me, it's just whether this, it's dependent on this next candlestick closure. Like, this 15-minute candle here was really good. If you look at it there, like, we've bottom worked 3 times, we've bottom worked a lot, and now we're starting to get legs up. With the knowledge that we have draws on liquidity above us, I think that this is a really good trade for the day. I just literally got our hands off it now, see what happens. If we take a loss here, nothing to complain about from my end. Like, I think that, yeah, realistically, if I was going to be upset about anything today, I'd be being upset at the fact that we lost money. And that is not something that you can be mad about in trading. You just need to come in here, take the best trade possible, and that is literally what I've done today. So we've had a retracement now. That's looking really nice, man. If we can reject this, top tier. So let's just see what happens, man. Hopefully we can see some volume to the upside. That would be beautiful. This is actually my first time risking a full 500 on a funded account. So interesting one on the psychology. I've definitely got the heart freaking pumping a little bit right now. But I think that if we can see us blitz through here, then I'd be happy to sort of start trailing my stop loss up to sort of the base of this 3 minute. The first place I'd be looking to trail would be to the base of this 3 minute here. Yeah, man, happy with it. Nothing more from me. Like, it's just waiting and seeing what the market does now. I mean, we've done literally all that we can. Damn, bros, it's not looking hot so far. We had a small inkling of profit there, and then we've rotated back down. We've inversed this 3 minute gap here on NQ. I'm not gonna sell my position early. Like, I'm just leaving it to whatever the market wants to do. But all in all, dirty price action so far. Like, the model that we had is looking good. Yeah, it's just it honestly is just leaving it to the market. Like, there's nothing more to do or say. Yeah, I like everything that we saw in the charts today. So just got to see what happens. We are in $250 of drawdown right now. Starting to get a bit of a turn up here. Oh, dump leg. Damn, bros, we are definitely not looking hot over here on ES. Far out. Big dumper. Big dumper. I'm kind of looking at these fundeds now as like, if I get stopped out, like say today we risked 500, which is a quarter of our like it's like a quarter of your max loss, you know. So theoretically, I'm sort of looking at it as if I'm risking like $20 on a trade. All right, so that is us out for the day. All in all, man, no complaints from me. Like I'll have to look back at it and analyze that video footage from just to sort of get a gauge of where my psychology was at today. But all in all, I think we had the lower time frame model. We also knew that we'd taken out the draws on liquidity that I wanted to see get taken out to the downside, and then yeah, we literally took our model. So fuck. Now we get the S&T. I don't necessarily want to place another trade, but if the market's literally telling us this is rough. Like this is a potential A plus model, and this would be an A plus model in terms of the 15-minute time frame. Like not an indication of the 15-minute time frame. Like this is the 15-minute time frame telling us exactly where it wants to go. We've held this fair value gap. We've come down. We've taken out this low. The draws on liquidity still remain to the upside. We have these two equal highs, two sets of equal highs. The highest time frame imbalance here is this, well now it's pretty much this block here. Man. I don't like to take more than one trade, but the market is literally presenting it on a freaking platter. Look at that. First off, we have like, I would love to just place a trade right there off of that first imbalance. TP1's here. Low resistance draws. We've had that second wave of volume just come through. Unfortunately, we already placed a trade. Okay, all in all, I'm not mad at all with that trade. Let's see. I'm open to placing another trade off this. I kind of want to stick it to a higher time frame though. Purely because we've already lost a trade. Otherwise, there's a high chance I would already be in. I just don't want to take an unnecessary loss, you know. And I don't want to look back at this and say it was a psychological error when it's kind of hard in the moment to make that call, but that is our highest time frame imbalance, no? Yeah. So this 3 minute is the highest time frame fair value gap of that manipulation league that we're considering. We've come down, we've manipulated this low here. The 15-minute time frame, what is it telling us? Like, we're holding bearish. Over here on NQ, what is it telling us? It's telling us we're failing to hold bearish. So if we can see something that is going to indicate continuation of this uptrend over here, then it's clear sign for an entry. Like super bum clear. Damn, it just sucks that we've already taken a trade, because I know that if I take a loss here, I won't be pissed, but I'll be like, you know, it'll just suck because I've had the chance to walk away. Yeah, bro, it's kind of bummed, but damn, it's just what the charts are giving us tonight. Leagues up here on the S. Oh, it's so clear. This sucks. Changing the state on that 3 minute time frame. Still haven't invalidated that fair value gap though. NQ, same thing. Super freaking clear. I just need to make a call now. Whether we're open to taking a trade or not, depending on the scaling stick closure. What time is it? 12:48. flip a coin as to whether you take another trade or not. I don't know. I don't have any rules against not trading two times in one session. Obviously, it's not ideal on a funded account when you're risking heavily, just because you could get caught up in bad price action. But I wouldn't necessarily call today bad price action so far. Like, to be honest, it's been pretty solid. Just the draws and liquidity are there. Like, that is looking really good for a long there. ES. I wouldn't call that a strong bearish move at all. I'll go slightly less risk. I just won't risk a full 500 on this one. If we get it, like, ideal situations, we just rotate from here down, invalidate the S&T, and then I can call it quits for the day. But I mean, overall, our trade idea still has not been invalidated. Like, our first trade entry got invalidated, but our trade idea and our trade basis for the day has not been invalidated one bit. So for me to sit here and hold myself back from another trade is, I mean, one way you can look at it as responsible, but the other side to it is, like, are you just being too strict with it, which is something I do find myself a lot. So I'm just too strict, and I end up copying or hiding because of it. Like, I just miss out on so much. So I'll see, man. Like, all in all, I'd be happy to walk away the day with a $500 loss. Like, it's not a major for me. Yeah. Oh, so my max loss in it. So I have 1K max loss now on this account because I had 2 losing trades last week, both de-risked. And then that's 1 full risk loss as well. No, I've had a 3 loss losing streak. Jeez, that's unfortunate. Turning up here. NQ chopping. Okay, I'm calling it here. I don't know. I'm looking at it from a third person perspective right now. Price action isn't ideal. You know, we have a model. We had a model. We've had a second model. To be honest, man, I have such high conviction on these 2 draws on liquidity. It's hard to walk away, but you know, at the end of the day, man, I'd probably rather walk away than take a loss. Not that I'm fussed about taking another loss, because, like I said, my trade idea and basis for the day has not been invalidated yet. If we were to see a model, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't call it bad psychology to take another trade. But personally, I have work and I have to be up in 6 hours for work. If I take this trade, it's low volume time in the market. I'm going to be sitting here till about 4 a.m. probably. Like, it's probably going to take an hour or 2 for this to hit TPs. So I'm going to be sitting here until 3 a.m. and I'll be running at work off 4 hours sleep. So all in all, it's just not ideal for me. And then price action also isn't ideal. We've been chopping around a lot. We found a good model inside of it. We lost on that model. It's probably best if I just call it a day rather than looking for a model, and realistically, we still haven't really come out of all that chop. So that is me done for the day. All in all, what are we down today? We're down $498.60 on the funded. Took a full risk trade today, and I'm wanting to play these accounts more aggressively. So it's actually probably really good for me to see a bigger loss on the screen than usual. Yeah, tomorrow do some reflection, come back into the charts, and I'll let you know. I'll do a trade recap tomorrow after I've done some reflection and stuff, and I'll talk about if I have any regrets, because sometimes you do sort of get post-nut clarity on it, and you can sort of analyze the charts a little bit better when you're actually away from them. But that is Monday, the 1st of July. New month, fresh start, and unfortunately today we did not start the month right at all. But is what it is, man. Gotta be happy with a good trade. At the end of the day, that's all we're coming in here and trying to do. So thank you boys for tuning in. Really appreciate all the love you guys are showing on these videos at the moment. Gonna keep them pumping out. And yeah, peace, man. We'll be back tomorrow for another video. Good luck in the charts. Do not take a loss like I did tonight. Love.